What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we build Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Hi, TikTok. We're back. Episode 735. We are back. We are back. And I promise I won't say a thing. I didn't say a thing. I didn't say anything bad to begin with, but we will make sure, I've already warned all the guests that we will not say bad things. That's right. We will not say any bad things. Well, welcome back, TikTok. I know it's been a while. And I know you missed me. I got the DMs. We're on TikTok. That's right. We're back on TikTok. We're going to get the Facebook thing going. We got threads and people are just going insane. We're going to do these things. We're going to do big things, okay? Big things are happening. Okay, big things are happening. Shout out to everybody who tunes in on a consistent basis. It is Friday. It is 12:49 p.m. I'm a little bit late because the monitors are still not working with me. Okay, the monitors are not still work. They're not working with me. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do. But you can call in to today's show today. The number is 917-599-5937. That's right. Let's kick it off with some. I want to kick it off with some. I held spaces yesterday. Let's kick it off with some fucking music, man. This is how I'm feeling. Hold on. I don't know if y'all hear it, but let me switch it up. You probably don't hear it. Do it again. There's no sound? Are you kidding me? I'm nodding my head to no sound? Wow. Let's see. What about now? What about now? Does it work now? What the? Right. Why doesn't the music play? Hold on. I mean, this sucks. How do I play? I used to play the music all the time. All right, y'all can't hear the music. Jesus Christ! I can't believe it. I can't believe I sound muffled. I sound muffled. All right, hold on. Let's see what's up here. I sound muffled. What the fuck? Wow, I can't, man. I swear to God, I can't. I just can't win with this. Let's see. Hold on. It's better now. Does it sound like a studio mic, or it sounds like? What does it sound like? Oh, of course. What about now? This got to be working now. It got to be working now. Let me know if it's working. I can't be on TikTok finally after. It sounds terrible now again. It can't be. I just switched it on. Check, check, 1, 2. All right, hold on, hold on. What about right now? All right, hold on, pause. Because I'm playing this music, it might be interfering. So, how do I sound right now? Do I sound like I'm a block away? Or do I sound like I'm in my goddamn studio? All right, good. Thank you so much. Look, this is what happens, man. This is what I've been battling. This is what I've been battling. You know what it is? I know why. Now I'm out of sync. This is great. Landy's telling me I'm out of sync. Guys, I don't even believe you anymore, Landy. Okay, I don't even believe you. Everybody says it sounds normal. We're back. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I thought I'd play a song out here. Okay, get us hyped up. For some reason, so for some reason, it won't play from my browser. So hold on. Let me ask you if you hear this. I'm gonna just put something on real quick. Y'all hear this, man? Let's see. No. Damn it, man. Fuck, it's the noise canceling, man. Hold on, what if I change it up here, man? Yo, you guys gotta bear with me, man, because I want to see if it can work, man.
Money bought time, but it never bought peace. Every win feels like a slow bleed release in this cold room. I face my truth. Every pain turn wisdom. Every loss turn proof. I'm still standing.
All right, so this works now. All right, good. So I'm gonna leave it like this. All right, cool. Welcome.
Friends turn ghosts when the checks got sent.
Welcome to the motherfucking show.
Fame is a mirror, breaks if you stare. Love turns cheap when nobody cares. I built my walls with what I lost. Dreams came true, but look at the cost. They see the crown, not the weight inside. Smile on stage while my demons hide in this cold room. I face my truth. Every pain turn wisdom. Every loss turn proof.
All right, look, everybody's here. Look, everybody's in the chat. You guys missed me, okay? You guys missed me. There's no denying that all you missed me because you're not going to get a show like this anywhere else. You got to sit there and watch boring ass people talk about boring ass things. That's not what you get from me. Kicking the door, waving the 4-4. We know Brooklyn. I'm so happy. TikTok is back. Look at the smile. I am smiling. Anyway, you can call in today's show. What is the goddamn number? Today's show is, the number is 917-599-5937. We could chop it up about crypto. We can chop it up about politics. Okay? We'll keep it professional. The second you get out of pocket, you're out. There's no discussion. I actually had my first space. I would consider it my first space back after months. Last night, I was actually just trying to, and that spaces are on X. So anybody who, X, formerly known as Twitter, anybody who don't know about that, now you know. I opened up a spaces last night and we were just chopping it up. We were talking about what the crypto space really needs. We need to get back to what we were doing in previous cycles. The adults in the room need to step up. That's what I was really talking about. The adults in the room need to step up. The communities need to step up and send things. It's not KOLs. I say this all the time. It's not, first of all, there are no KOLs in crypto. So forget about KOLs. Forget about the influencers, okay? They couldn't influence shit without you guys. Y'all need to step up, and it's y'all time to go ahead and have that Wall Street Bets movement moment, okay? It's up to you, okay? It's not me. It's not him. It's not her. It's not anybody but you. You need to step up, and you need to start looking at real assets, and you need to start sending them together. Whether you like each other or not, this is how it works. You sit at the same table, okay? You sit at the same table, and you make it work. You make it work. Otherwise, the broccoli head motherfuckers, like I talk about all the time, they're going to win, and they're going to continue to win. So it's up to you. It's up to you. Whether you're working at IHOP right now, at this very moment, and you're watching this stream on your phone, or you're sitting in your goddamn basement smelling like hot ass. You got to make it work. Y'all got to make this work. Otherwise, it's donezo. Okay, you're gonna be in this right now in this space, running around chasing in a gamified era, run by the kids that grew up in the gamified era, playing Fortnite and fucking Call of Duty. So it's time. It is time. Y'all want to make money? You guys want to make money? You want to change your lives? You want to roll up in your Lamborghinis? Got a Rolex, a Patek, all this shit, all these things you dream of. You want this? Well, you got to sit at the same table with people that you don't like. You got to sit with the adults in the room. And you got to look at each other face to face and say, yo, do we want to continue to participate in this? Because the only motherfuckers making money are Pump.Fun and any other product that sells you or allows you to transact in crypto. That's it. That is it. These are the only people that are making money. It's not you, it's them. And anybody flashing you pretty P&Ls, you don't know how much they went ahead and went in with. What, $3 to show? And they won 5, so they're showing you a P&L that went. Stop it. Somebody just said if they got to sit with Trump, and I'm sure that was a Democrat, then they go sit with Trump. You got to do what you got to do. Okay? Stop blaming this on Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor has no impact on Bitcoin. Strategy has no impact on Bitcoin's price. Stretch has no impact on Bitcoin's price. You are talking about a liquid company, a liquid public company. You don't gotta like the products. Landy don't like the products. That's fine. You don't gotta like them. But I can promise you, this is not we will not have a Sam Bankman-Fried FTX moment. We will not have implosions in this space. We haven't even had that. And like I said yesterday, AI. Start using AI. Guys, you spend $200 on worthless things. Look at your shoes. You spend $200 on your sneakers. They're ugly as hell. You could have spent that on a Claude Max membership. If you're not going to go to the gym, you might as well just spend it on Claude. You might as well. Telling you, man, might as well. Might as well just like break this TV, because goddamn this TV, man, it will not. I'm about to throw something at this goddamn thing, man. You know, I'm in the zone right now. I'm looking at myself here on this monitor. I'm in the zone right now. This shit ain't letting me go ahead and fulfill the prophecy that I'm spitting right now. Thank you, by the way. TikTok is saying welcome back. You guys should be more like TikTok on X. You should be kissing my ass. I'm being real. Y'all should be kissing my ass for coming on here every single day. Hold on one fucking second. I'm about to break something off, man. I'm not even playing, man. Y'all should be kissing my ass. Y'all shall be kissing my ass. Every single day. Let me get this. Let me get this right. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not actually kidding. Why is this not working? This is driving me crazy. This is driving me fucking absolutely nuts. There we go. I'm back. Yeah, apparently that I addressed that yesterday also. Apparently I am the dev of Bitcoin too. Crazy work. A front-facing figure will come out here and fucking put his name and give people shout outs. And in return, I'm donezo. Don't call me. Don't call me. Yeah, I was on one yesterday, man. I am so lucky I wasn't next to a microphone. I was on one yesterday. Anyway, it's addressed. That's in the past. I don't give a fuck. God bless you guys. Don't give a shit what happens moving forward. Do not ask me to participate. Don't slide into the DMs. Don't. I don't even want to fucking hear it. I'm sending you straight to like the fucking hidden DMs. I don't want to hear from you. Anyway, crypto. We'll talk about crypto. We'll bring should we bring Landy in for crypto? Because he's gonna do horoscopes and shit. All right, let's bring Landy in. Landy's gonna talk to us about horoscopes right now. Men's astrology right now. Landy, what's going on? Good morning to you, man.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Well, the horoscope says that we hit the 58 to 60
I'm so
zone.
happy I'm back on TikTok.
Well, I get it. But they also want to know.
I'm warning you right now. I'm warning you. You and the other one that comes on here today.
The other one?
Yeah, Rob.
I thought there was another puppet. Whew. Jeez, I got nervous there.
I don't care what you guys say. I don't care about what you talk about when it comes to politics. Like, I don't give a shit. You know what you can't say, okay? Do not get me removed again.
I'm crossing my fingers. They're behind my back. And I'm going to say, okay, sure. I'm just kidding. I'll be good. I'm going to be a good puppet.
All right. So what are we looking at? Should we, oh my God, right away it's politics on fucking TikTok though. Like there's one, it's like a mixture. Yeah. It's politics and it's crypto. Guys, we'll get to the political stuff. And let me put up, obviously the overlay for you guys to call in. You guys can call in and join the show live. Call in at 917-599-5937. Again, 917-599-5937. I'll figure out how to fucking work this thing. All right. I said what I said. There's things that we do have to touch on. There, people are blaming Michael Saylor. So let's start with that. People are blaming Michael Saylor for the downfall of crypto. What are your thoughts here? And can you elaborate a little bit for the audience that has joined us now? Because they've been sitting on the bench for 3 weeks.
Well, yeah, it's not Michael Saylor's fault that Bitcoin is headed to the downside. Look, he's a net buyer of Bitcoin. He's not a large seller of Bitcoin. He literally only sold 700, exact number 750 in 2022 and then 32 this time. So like he is not responsible for the price action on Bitcoin. We've now hit and filled out the major area that I was looking for. Now it's a matter of, do we bounce from here? Or do we break down further at 58 to 60? None of that has anything to do with Michael Saylor. It's all manufactured outrage right now. Is there legitimate fear from some who really believe like that whole thing could blow up and that, he would have to distribute? Yeah, there's fear of that. But the fact of the matter is even if that were to happen, that would be a very long process. And by the time that anything would even be distributed, they would, we'd already be turning around into a bull market, if not already in a strong bull market. So those things take a long time. He's not going to get kicked off the board. He's got he's got controlling shares. There's like there's all kinds of really weird fake narratives that don't make a lot of sense, but they do serve.
All right, so let's go to it then, Landy. Okay, so if it's not Saylor, can you explain to the audience, in your humble opinion, what is causing what is causing the price action of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to go backwards?
Bear market, more sellers than buyers.
Okay.
Pretty
Bear
simple.
market, more sellers than buyers. What
Yeah.
else? Is that
You
it?
know,
Is that easier to explain? Just like bear
that is.
market, more sellers than buyers.
Yeah, and I think the reason that people are so messed up right now is because they see that equities have been in a bull market, and crypto is in a bear market, right? But the fact of the matter is, since the launch of the ETFs, we were already shifting into a bull market structure at that time in markets, for the crypto side of things, coming off of the lows of the bear market for equities as well. They moved first. And then Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies chased on the way back up. And when we had the larger sell-offs, we shifted into bear market structure, and there is still premium in one market, and in the other market, it's a tale of two markets right now. And this is not actually that crazy. Um, it is a little bit more prolonged than people, have seen in the past, but we live in a changing world. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are on the furthest end of the risk curve, and quite honestly, when you break structure, it's going to get traded like that for a while until it starts to find strength again and turn around into a bull structure. So, um, at this particular moment, it's just more. It really is as simple as there's more sellers than buyers. Um, and until we see a structural shift into a bullish trend, you can start looking for that, for weeklies to start bottoming and basing out in an area. And then once we start to see that, we'll start to see things turn around. And look, it's way more complex than that, but realistically, why is price down? There's more sellers than buyers. Michael Saylor is not to blame for any of that. Um, he he has the optics issues that are being dealt with because price is down. Everyone will forget about it when price goes back up. And look, there's legitimate concerns about the stock and stretch and like all of this other stuff, but none of that has anything to do. There's no claims to the underlying Bitcoin. They have cash for runway. How they handle that cash, whether by paying a larger dividend on stretch or whatever they do, really doesn't matter to Bitcoin. It is an ancillary digital credit product with a company that is a primary buyer of Bitcoin. And yes, they have the biggest stack. But when you look at actual price movements, the buying and selling of Bitcoin is primarily coming from the spot ETFs through what's known as the creation and redemption process. They actively move coins all the time. The authorized participant there is constantly moving coins, in to back the shares and out to redeem those shares, right? And then you've got crypto native exchanges, and you've got miners, and you've got OGs. And for those that are going to go, well, those publicly traded miners don't have a lot of tokens. And you're right. It's not about the publicly traded miners. The entire network is global, and there's a massive amount of Bitcoin and mining wallets that are traceable back to the main transaction that pays out Bitcoin after a block is mined. So that's about 1.8 million Bitcoin. You've got crypto native exchanges with still around 2.7 million Bitcoin in terms of aggregate flows in and versus flows out. They hold about 2.7. You've got 1.25 million in all of the spot ETFs. And then you've got the DATs. The DATs are just buying, right? You're going to get some selling from some of them. Some of them aren't going to last very long, but they aren't actively trading Bitcoin. So right now, it's about structure. We broke higher low structure, so we had a trend break on the monthly. We had already been in a downtrend on the weekly, so it's a bear market. This too shall pass, right? Whether it's here or lower, which I am of the opinion that we see another leg lower, but we're right at a very important area that you and I've talked about for a while, 58 to
Yeah.
60. First, I was looking for 58 to 60. We hit 60. Now we've got 58. Now we wait to see if it holds up and we get a little bounce, and then we can gauge whether or not there's further upside to be had. Or if it breaks down into mid to low 50s, it's fine. This is when
So
you want to be here.
I was I was kind of looking. Look, I'm not. I want to say that I'm a S tier chartist. I know charts though. Kind of looking at it, and I was like 57.5 to 54. Like if you break 57, you could go down to 54. But once you break 54, it's. I mean, like it would 54 be the last line of defense?
You can think about it like this in terms of like the bigger block sizes here for where you're likely going to see orders 58 to 60. There is some areas of interest around the mid 50s like you're talking about. The next biggest area of interest is 48 to 50. That's the bear market lower high from last cycle. That's also the pre ETF pump to
What it,
$49,000.
54 is, right? 54 and change.
No, it's more of a
I
weekly.
thought-
It's a monthly area, but it's not as big as the next area below it at 48 to 50.
So
Reason
48 to
why?
50. Okay.
48 to 50 and 58 to 60, very big zones. Why? 48,240 was the bear market lower high on spot. That's also the prior to the ETFs, the spot ETFs launching, price got bid up to $49,000, which basically swung above the bear market lower high. It dumped off to another major level at 38.5, which was a monthly, but then it pumped straight back through, went on to make a new all-time high, and then retested $49,000. So very significant pivot point in the markets off of a bear market lower high, off of the pre-ETF launch high, and then the post-ETF higher low. But also, 58 to 60 also being right around the prior cycle closing highs for weeklies and monthly areas of interest, right? The first high from 2021, for instance, the close was right around this area, 58, 59K, depending on the chart that you're using. And realistically, I've been trying to kind of illustrate this point wherever I go, and including in my videos, is that the institutional orders, we saw the pre-ETF launch run up to $49,000. Now, some of that was driven by speculators pushing price, but also there was the pre-seed going into the ETF. So there's some pre-seed buying. And then, of course, the market reacted to that and helped push it up to $49,000. We had a big dump off to 38.5, then a very quick recovery right back to 48 to 50. And between 48 to 50 and 58 to 60, that's where we saw all of the, oh my God, the spot ETFs are breaking records for new ETFs in terms of inflows and like all this kind of stuff, right? That's when that really started. It was like the main shot of liquidity from those spot ETFs came in between 48. We were rising off the lows, granted 38 and a half to 48 to 50, but the most amount of institutional flow really started to hit around 48 to 50 and 58 to 60. That then helped propel things through. The rest of the market followed through. We ended up making a new all-time high prior to the halving at 73,835. So, you know, this is a very, very big, important area. And you can call it like a $10,000 area in general, 48 to 50 and 58 to 60. So you can even take the lower end of that or the higher end of that if you want to, just depends on how you'd like to look at it. But very important zone. Um, and look, I've said this to you before. There is no macro low structure in right now. That doesn't mean that we don't see this area or around this area become macro low structure. I'm not of the opinion of that until I see more data and more closes. I'm still looking for potentially lower into those mid 50s, potentially upper 40s to 50s, and then we gauge it for maybe more later. There's big areas below there, 45 all the way down to 38.5, which is post ETF launch, right? So there is always the potential for further downside. You take it one step at a time. We're coming off of a major, major zone right now in the lower term timeframes, but it's still a move in progress. So, if we dip down, what do bulls want to see? They want to see if we dip down to, for instance, the mid 50s on this move before a significant bounce, then I would be looking for recovery above 60,000, and then starting to try to recover those mid 60s and see how far it can go. But
Yeah.
for right now, it's just a move in progress. We're at a major inflection point and support area. just kind of wait and see. See if we get the dip down below, and don't hate bounces off of this area either.
Give
Um,
me give me five. Let's get five. Give me five plays that you would go into right now. And this is not financial advice, but five things that you would look at right now in terms of getting into with the market in its current shape.
well, I got gold bids in. I've got I did take a little bit of a silver bid, but it's going to
No,
depend on
I'm
how
not
the
talking about
gold bid goes.
traditional. I'm not
Okay,
talking.
if we're
I'm not talking
talking
about traditional.
crypto, if we're talking crypto,
Just crypto.
I'm not taking a trade on this. I've taken like little scalps here and there. I haven't taken any swings or anything at this. I need to see structure on lower term timeframes, but I did bid this area, right? Because I'm of the opinion in terms of spot. So I bid this area for Bitcoin. I did take and get a fill on the top side of an important structure for Ethereum, but this is part of it, and I want to stress this: 60K and under is accumulation. It's all accumulation, right? You're 50% down from the highs.
Why
You're
would you go into Ethereum?
because I would like to see if we get a bounce in this major area for Ethereum. If we don't, I'm not going to hate it. I'll just bid it lower. And I have a plan where my bids get, for those that are maybe new here, don't understand what I'm talking about. Laddering in means that the bids are getting larger the lower that things go. That pulls your entry down. So accumulation. So
You still have faith in Ethereum?
I think Ethereum's not going to really go anywhere. In fact, there was some pretty interesting news with Kraken making an offer for Aave over
Aave,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. So
15%. I think they wanted to buy.
look, I think that when things look terrible, and I don't, by the way, I don't think that we're in max pain at all, like not even close, in my
Yeah.
personal opinion, in terms of sentiment for anything. So, I mean, we could see significantly lower prices. That I'm fine with that though, and I'm fine with DCAing in and the bids getting larger the lower price goes in certain zones. But for Ethereum, I like when things are beat to shit and everyone hates it and it's gonna die and everything's gonna go away. And I think Ethereum's price action needs to reflect that a little bit more. I think it's a little strong in this area. And if it does drop it, I'm looking down to 1,000 and under personally. That doesn't mean
You
I'm
think
gonna
it goes
get it.
there?
It doesn't mean we're gonna get it.
No, but I'm saying, do you think
That's
there's a
definitely.
possibility we go next we go to 1,000?
And I will give you my thoughts on this here real quick. So
Is it because the only way I see this happening is if Tom Lee continues to buy?
well, look, we're in a major zone for me. Between 1370 and 1650, it's a major zone. I'm willing to have orders laddered in here, but if this area drops, we're looking at 1,000 potentially under. The next big area that I'd be looking under there is, upper $700 to $1,000 area.
Oh, that's nasty.
But I'm
That's
willing to
nasty.
take on spot bids here. But again, this is all part of an accumulation plan that I'm using with dry powder. I can realistically buy all the way down to $200 and I'm not going to really care. And I would have a really brilliant entry on that particular positions in terms of the way that I'm sizing in. Um, I have stink bids. I always joke like have a stink bid at zero, right? As is that your largest order should be at zero if you really. Uh, it's either going to go to nothing, it's either going to die, or it's going to go back to the all-time high. One of the two. And
What
this
ab
was my contention at the bear market last time. Look, I don't think that we're in. Ethereum typically bottoms before Bitcoin. Okay, that doesn't mean it's going to happen this time.
Oh god.
But
Guys, well, welcome to the extended super bear market cycle
well, hold on,
because
hold on.
there
Ethereum
ain't no
typically
stopping
bottoms.
Ethereum from reaching zero at this point.
Okay,
The only
so
thing that can stop right now, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing that can stop Ethereum from not hitting zero is if Tom Lee would just stop buying. I'm telling you right now.
I,
I figured out the problem. It's Tom Lee buying.
I love the bearish news. I love the bearish sentiment because look, I want something that is beat the hell. I just want people to be so over it that they pick up and leave. We're seeing devs go, "Oh, I'm done with it. We're gonna move on." But then you see the opportunists come in. You see a Kraken come in and say, "Hey, we want to buy a big portion of the biggest product platform on Ethereum," right? Like that's the kind of stuff that I like. It's looking for discount and value, and you sell the premium. And in this case, look, last cycle low for Ethereum, and Ethereum's pretty famous for doing this. Last cycle low for Ethereum was in June of 2022. Remember, Bitcoin didn't bottom until October of 2022 is when it bottomed. Ethereum at that same time put in, granted, it was downtrending structure on the weekly, but it held the lows on a close. In fact, it held $1,090 or $1,100 on the close. And realistically, this is a right here and down to those areas. It's a good opportunity zone. That doesn't mean that it's not going to go lower, but that it means that I'm willing to take entries in here for spot positioning. I'll hunt swing trades later on for longer term. But this is a massive, massive zone between the 1370 and 1650 area. Then there's a massive zone just below it, $780 to $1,000. There's some people that are looking way lower, by the way. And that's okay to look way lower, but you better know how you'd like to accumulate, because otherwise you're going to be chasing. I think it's all opportunity from here on out in the crypto markets. You just have to be careful about what it is that you pick. Am I of the opinion that Ethereum's facing a lot of problems right now, in terms of optics, in terms of what's happening with the foundation and what's happening with flows and volume and all of, yes, yes. But that's where you find value, is when nobody else wants it.
So that's exactly. This is where you find value when a protocol's going bankrupt. You swoop in like Warren Buffett, but you're not. By the way, no, I'm not CTOing or deving Ethereum. I'm not the dev of Ethereum. I'm gonna crack jokes today. All right. Give me 3 more without going on a goddamn fucking
Okay,
tangent out here, bro.
I'm gonna give you one that no one's gonna like, because it's in a straight up breakdown right now.
What are you doing with?
I'm gonna say ADA, and I like it all the way down to.
He's just saying that for engagement, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
He's saying that for me.
Absolutely. I'm engagement farming right now. And I've been regularly buying
purchase
midnight.
of a lifetime. If to get into Cardano at this fucking price is crazy. This is free. Like literally, this is free. This is free.
They've got problems, bro, and I love problems. So bring all the problems on. I like as a DCA area to start. This is the top side of my DCA area. Right around 15 cents down to 7 is the first big area, and then I like it all the way down to 3 cents. Yeah, that doesn't mean it's going to get there. This is a big area. In fact, it's perfectly balanced itself right on the high side structure from 2020 into from early. It's actually
here we
late,
go. Our first
late
warning.
19. Wait, why?
Live visibility restricted now. Your live is not eligible for recommendation or restricted in search results because it contains unoriginal or reported or reproduced content. This is in line with TikTok. What are you talking about?
What?
Where?
It's just people reporting stupid shit that they, yeah, it's BS. Look, somebody here's got it out for you. They'll report it and say anything. As for ADA, there is it's at the top side structure from 2020 before the run up. Now, this area is between 15 and 7 cents essentially. I like this area as my first my first DCA zone, and it's, it's tagging this area on the weekly. It's a move still in progress. I'm fully prepared. There's kids playing in the background. Sorry. Um, there's I like this area, and if the move continues in progress, then it's actually going to start hitting some serious bids for me. I like Hedera, otherwise known as Habera, and some of these zones and below. Um, what else? What
Give me
else?
one more, because you're gonna run out. I'm gonna run out of time on this show.
What else do I like? I'm trying to look at, because I'm looking at what I've actually, what has actually hit some of my DCA bids right now. Um, yeah, not. I'll be honest. There's not too much outside of majors. I want to see Habera drop lower, into some more of my buy zone there, but um, yeah, no. I mean, look,
Spit
I'll
it
have
out,
more
bro.
for you.
Spit it out.
I'll have more for you, because some of them are right above the levels where I have spot bids. So I'll have more for you throughout the summer, and especially if Bitcoin drops to the downside into, mid to low 50s. If it does that either on this move or the next bigger move down, if it does that, I will I'll get my fills on more, and I'll have a short list for you. And if it doesn't do that, and we start to see structure form here, on the longer term, like weeklies, then, I just adjust those bids. I slide them up over time as structure dictates. But right now it's downtrend. There's nothing to be there's no structures showing bottoms or anything like that at the moment. So I'm with I'm with the accumulators right now, and it's just waiting to see how Bitcoin performs here. Whether it continues down, gets a bounce. I'll still wait to see how structure is. If it's just another, move back to the top side to grab liquidity and then head down, and then hopefully we'll get some more bids in on some other stuff that I like longer term. So yeah, nothing too crazy. Um, I like I would like to see I'd like to see Dogecoin down at 4 cents, 4 to 5 cents again. But if it dropped it, oh boy. Oof. Not fun if it dropped that. But yeah, we'll see. Not financial advice. I think 60K and under for Bitcoin, it's accumulation territory. These areas and under for a lot of crypto are
How much more
liquidation
suffering
territory.
do you want people to do when you say some shit like, "I'd like to see this shit drop down to 4 cents"? Like, what is wrong with you, bro?
Because we have to find demand, right? And you got to scare people out,
Yeah,
and
let's
then
not
people
do
come in and
that.
pick up value. No, let's
Maybe
do that.
people are frightened already, man. What
I
do you
don't.
do?
They are not frightened. They're fake
They are.
frightened. No, they're not.
They're
Who's
calling me.
who's actually out here going, "Oh my God, it's a bear market. I better sell everything and go away." No, that's stupid. This is the best time to be here in the markets, is to identify value when no one else wants to stick around.
Okay, I guess so. I guess so.
And I want to
Everybody's gonna
see
leave.
those people who are sticking around right now. Look, I said this to you yesterday. Go back to 2022. All of the blowups all the way down. And then the Sam Bankman Fried thing happened. We go down to 15 and a half on spot for Bitcoin. We go down to, below 1100 bucks prior to that for Ethereum. And then we only went down to like the, the, uh, the 1300 area, um, on that actual news. It, we are nowhere near actual pain. This has been the most painless bear market. You know where the pain is? The pain comes from people having sky high expectations at the high, when people like myself were saying, "Hey, you should probably be careful and be taking profits on the way up. 123 to 125 is a really important area. If we start to see things not continue on, we could be potentially turning around to test further downside," which then opens the door for a potential bear market. And we ended up seeing that, but people were still had their even while we broke structure on a monthly, And people are still going, no, it's still a bull market. It's a bull market, guys. Everybody's going to go. We're going to the moon, 250,000, 1 million Bitcoin, blah, 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 which is complete and utter bullshit. And because the expectations got set so high yet again, everybody's really despondent, and they're like, oh well, the institutions run everything and they're going to stomp on our heads. Well, I'm sorry, do you not remember 2022, after the guy that was eating cucumbers on a consistent basis was in with all of the House and Senate representatives and palling around in Washington D.C. and he was on the cover of magazines everywhere, and then he blows up at the very last capitulation leg down. There was people in the industry that literally thought this is it. Choke point 2.0 worked. He was the bait to get us in there so that regulators could just turn against crypto. That was real panic and fear and pain. None of this is all performative BS right now. We haven't even seen real pain. And we might not see that real pain again, unless somebody like Saylor starts to sell. You know what, Michael Saylor, I think you should just rip it off like a Band-Aid. Just get out there and sell like 5,000 Bitcoin to get it rolling. Let everybody freak out and panic. Yeah, it's not going to be great for optics, but they'll survive. Nobody's got a claim to the underlying Bitcoin. They ain't gonna, even if they tried to move against you, they can't liquidate you for like 2 years anyway. We'll be back in a bull market and everybody will be singing your praises.
Okay. All right. Enough of you, bro. Enough of you wanting Bitcoin to go to $4, bro.
Oh, you want $4 Bitcoin again?
No, well, actually. We'll be right back after this commercial.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome back. By the way, can you test the phone line? People are telling me they can't get through, man. Like, and they're probably not lying.
Is
They're
it
probably not
the
even lying.
is it the
917 599 5937.
hold on. I think is it posted anywhere?
It's right there on the goddamn screen. What are you, blind?
Oh shit. Look, I look at charts for a living, all right? I look at other numbers and I was hoping, in my heart of hearts that someday that would be the number that Bitcoin would reach. And
What
we
number?
didn't. So now I ignore numbers
Oh, okay. Never mind.
that are I ignore any numbers longer than 6 digits.
That sucks. Yo, we were really on a roll on TikTok until some hater went ahead and reported for unoriginal. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that's not me.
But mute your, that's not you?
No.
All right, let's see if this works. All right, be good. You're live on the air. What's going on? What's your name?
Hello?
Hello.
Caller. Yo.
I don't even hear him. What is that? Collect call from prison? Somebody calling me from prison? And who is this? Sam Bankman-Fried?
Yo.
Do you hear him or no?
Kind of.
Like it's in and out.
Yeah.
Going once. Going twice. The guy's not saying anything.
It might be broken. I'm gonna call here in a second. Give me a second.
I'm telling you, people are trying to call. Hold on. She said that ain't you. That is definitely not you. Though you could pass for a man. Okay?
Was it Tech?
Say that again.
Said that it was Tech. Tech is saying that he was trying to call.
It was Tech?
Yeah, Tech.
Oh, my bad, Tech. I thought it was Sam Bankman-Fried.
Let me see if I'm gonna mute here as I'm calling in to see if it actually is gonna 5937. Let's try again and see if this will.
Welcome. This is Dave Ramsey. How can I?
Why is this not even calling?
It's Dave
Interesting.
Ramsey.
Okay, let's try again.
What do you mean you don't quit your job? Keep working until 90. Keep working until 90. All right. Are you calling or no?
I am attempting. We'll see if it actually goes through.
Man, this dude on Cricket Wireless, man, this is crazy. This is crazy, man.
Yeah, this is not actually going through. I don't know if that's I'll try for my real number.
Okay, there we go. Let's see how this works out. Why is it like that though? You're live. What's going on? What's up?
Yeah, it's through. You're right.
You know what? Hold on. You know what? I know what I need to do. All right, let's do it like that.
Let's see. Oh,
that's better.
It is like that.
Say that. Why do you sound like that?
No, it's like a.
All right, I'm kind of scared. Let me hang up because I don't know who the hell that is. That was scary. That sounded real scary right now.
That was me.
That was you? Call
Yeah.
back one more time. I want to see something because like I went ahead and I wonder if it's a Wi-Fi issue, man. Actually, hold on.
But why was my voice? I mean, this is a government phone after all, so maybe that's why the voice changer is on. No, I'm just kidding.
Hold on. Let's try it again.
All right, give me a
I
sec.
do it again.
All right.
Hold on. Got to figure this out here, man. Okay, here we go. All right. You're live on the air.
Hello, David.
Hello. This is better.
This is much better.
There you go. I figured it out.
Yeah. This is I hear it on the stream as well, so I don't sound like I'm calling from the pit of hell anymore.
Listen, it's nice to have. No. You know what? I'm hanging up on you because you're not taking over the phone lines, and you took over my show. Now you're gonna take over the phone lines? Hell no.
I'm everywhere.
I'm everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy. Goodbye, man. Guys, you can call in right now. Okay, you can call in right now. My monitor is down again. Honestly, I'm at this point where I'm about to start throwing things, man. I am about to start throwing things. I'm about to do some crazy shit, bro. For real. All right.
Two for one Landy special.
I just want to say I'm like one of the first, respectfully, one of the first, like saying, I can't even claim that. I'm not even claim that. But I did bring calling back to the stream or back to a live show. I feel like I was one that went ahead and did that. And I forgot about it. And now I'm back to it. Guys, you can call up 917-599-5937. That's right. 917-599-9. 917-599-5937. We can talk crypto. We can talk politics. We can talk all that good stuff. Okay. So go ahead and give us a call. All right, let's we got Rob in the back, and I'm gonna warn Rob too. Okay, we are on TikTok. We're back on TikTok, even though we were going into the hundreds, 200s, concurring. They decided, no, we can't have it that way. It's the, you know who it was? You know who's reporting me? It's the ebook sellers, man. The ebook sellers are reporting me. They're scared. Anyway, let's bring Rob on here. His camera's off. I don't even know why his camera's off. Don't tell me you're driving. Come on, man. This is a highly produced show. What are we doing here? What is this?
Can you see me now? There we are. I felt so committed to being on the show that I got off a plane. I got in LAX. I got in an Uber to go to Balboa Island in Newport, and I said I'm not going to miss the show. I'll do it in the car. So that's commitment and technology.
You're in Newport? Oh, hey.
I will be. I'll be in Newport in 20 minutes.
Nice.
Balboa Island.
Well, enjoy your taste of socialism and communism. I hope
the island's a little that area.
He's driving. Hold on. I'm not allowed to have him while he's not driving. He's in the back seat.
Yeah, that's right. Of course.
He's in the back seat. What the hell? I can't have somebody in the goddamn back seat of an Uber?
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's not actually controlling the vehicle.
Yeah, see?
I swear to God, if I get reported because he's in the backseat of an Uber, I'm done. I'm absolutely going to be done with TikTok.
David's in an extra dramatic mood today.
First of all, I'm going to warn you, please don't say anything crazy because we're on TikTok, right? And TikTok will ban you for breathing. I was under suspension for 2 weeks for no reason from restreaming it from Restream. I could have gone live, I could have posted, but Restream wise, they took me down. So right, I just want to make this known. TikTok, he is in the back seat of one of those, you know those like they're not. It's not an ambulance, but it's like a ride and drive things in New York City. If anybody's from New York City, you know what I'm talking about. They pick you up from your house. What's it called, man? Open a ride, whatever, man.
But the self-driving car.
No, they take you to like
self-driving cars.
They take you to. They take you to a nursery. It's where everybody. Never mind. You know what? He's gonna kill me if I go ahead and go with this joke. Anyway, welcome, Rob, and hopefully you can go ahead and keep it same. Landy,
Wow,
same thing.
you
All right.
start. If you go after me, I'm gonna throw you under the bus, and too bad for TikTok. I'll let them know
Listen,
I'll let them know the deeds.
listen. I won't tell people
Can
about
I
the pink
start?
dresses.
Can,
Anyway, go ahead.
oh, you had to go there, didn't you? You had to go there. You want to show us the cover of that book thing again? Your gay prelude
Oh, here
to
we go.
like
Well,
where
we're
you're in the
done. We're
pool.
done. We're done. Access a ride. Thank you so much. Access a ride. We're done, Landy. Don't worry. TikTok, it was nice knowing you. He had to go there. He had to go there.
What? I'm
He
in
had to call
support.
me out.
I'm in support. I'm in
No
Okay.
pride
support.
month.
Let's
I'm
not
having
talk
Pride
about
Day.
Pride
I'm
month.
let's
having
not talk
Pride
about
Day.
my personal
Should we
sexuality.
talk
Okay.
about the Giants? We
Let's
can talk
now
about
talk
the
about
Giants.
politics.
Can we? Well, yeah, okay. Well, so politics has a lot of variations. Okay, so, Andy, can we talk about something other than Iran for a couple minutes? Because we know we're going to get into it with Iran. Andy and I have sort of come to
Nothing has
terms that
changed. No, there's nothing to talk about with Iran because nothing has changed. When something changes, we could talk about it.
when
But what
something
I'd rather talk
changes,
about is the DSA takeover of the Democrat Party.
I love that
Yeah.
topic,
So
and
okay. So
I
let's
think
talk.
it's
Hold on. Let me go ahead and throw it out there. Okay. New York City. Right now. So by the way, the stats came in. 10% of New York City came out to vote. So that shows you how lazy New York City was when it came to this issue. This is why it's important. You have the right to vote, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, Libertarian. I don't care what you are, independent. Go out and vote, man. Go out and vote. So now you have 3 Democratic Socialists in the primary now. They were voted in. What are your thoughts here? Like, are we being taken over?
you want me to go first, Andy? I
Yeah, take
yeah,
it.
I think I don't like this takeover notion. I think, it's any more than, I feel like there's a funny irony in this. In the 90s, when Clinton was, president, people loved to, people, sorry, you guys hearing that noise in the background? Are you good?
No, we're good.
Okay. When in the 90s, when Clinton was president, people, people had would throw out the word, and more recently too, the socialist, the socialist. Clinton would call the socialist all the time. Obama was called the socialist, and I'm sort of like, they weren't socialists. Clinton actually would be like a moderate Republican right now, maybe not, maybe even a little more. I think what happened is we are seeing the actual socialists now, the real socialists. Everybody, not the boogeyman socialists. I don't think it's a takeover. I think it is a clear and direct message that voters are frustrated about basic issues like affordability, politicizing issues like healthcare, rent, cost of living, not so much job security, although there's that divide between the rich and the poor. And the socialists come out and promise a utopian will give you everything. Now, can they do it? No. Could they ever do it? No. Did any country ever do it? Has any true, pure socialist society succeeded? No. But they promise it. And even if it's only 10%, I think the sentiment is so high. The mainstream Democratic Party is not offering solutions. Their solution is fight Trump, beat Trump up. That's not really a solution to anything. But this is the real socialists now. All this time, everyone's saying they're socialists. They're socialists. Like, they're not socialists. This is socialism.
Okay. Landy, what are your thoughts?
Well, the Democrats left the door open for the actual socialist communists to set up shop, and now it's coming home to roost. Today, as of today, we've had 13 moderate Democrats come out and sign a Promise to America pledge that they're going to fight against the socialist and communist attempt to take over in certain enclaves and districts and states. Now, I think that this is a wake up call for the Democrats that they need to start focusing on the actual issues. Republicans are, and here's the danger: the Republicans are all too willing to allow this and cheer it on for the Democrats, but and they're ignoring that when these people do take their seats, especially in these strong Democrat regions that are, primarily clustered around very liberal Democrat cities, that these people will push policy in the direction that is undesirable and the antithesis of what the United States stands for. And they if they continue to cheer it on instead of working with the Democrats to say, hey, here are the issues that the voters want us to actually join together. And there's a ton of 80-20 issues that they can focus on that would serve the voters instead of themselves and their special interests. It's a dangerous game that they're playing, because this will continue to spread. And the Democrat Party has been an easy vector because they haven't really had strong policy to run on, and they haven't offered up solutions. They, in fact, are the reason why the actual socialist, Marxist, communist ideology has been festering and growing within the Democrat Party. Now, if you look at the extremes, though, on the extreme right and the extreme left, they're indistinguishable from each other, because the common through line between the two of them at this particular moment is an intense hatred of Israel. It is an intense disgust with the current representatives. But it's taken to the extremes for extreme solutions, and they actually are much more alike than they are different at the edges of the left and the edges of the right. And I think that the the Marxist socialist side of things saw a very easy entry, because a lot of the Democrat politicians have had a good run of making a lot of promises to the poor, to basically expanding a lot of social net programs. So they saw their vector there as we can easily take over that side. It's much harder to take over that side on the Republican side and infiltrate that side. So they found their vector. They've left the door open, and now it's come home to roost. And I don't think Republicans should be cheering it on. I think that they should be working in tandem with
Well,
Democrat representatives to actually start serving the people to stem this from actually
I
happening.
think though, I think
That's wishful
I
thinking,
listen,
by the way.
David. You're not gonna get a lot of division between Landy and I. I know you want us to like stir the pot.
I'm not
You know,
looking
we
for
have to
division.
talk
I know
about.
you look for that. You look for
Um,
division. I don't.
um,
I don't look for
I
that. I
would.
look for people to answer the question.
I come not to bury Caesar, but to praise Caesar. That's a little esoteric, but Julius Caesar, the play. He comes to kill Caesar, but pretends he doesn't. Landy, I disagree in one respect. I do agree that left and right, especially the populist extremes, have a lot in common. I think that the Republican Party is equally incapable of addressing these issues. It's had the chance to address them for a few years now, and it did before, and Trump won, and it never does. The whole joke with Trump won was, right, like, you railed on Obamacare. Why couldn't Republicans create a new healthcare plan? And people say, well, it's complicated. Well, okay, it was complicated for Democrats too, but I think the MAGA movement really pushed toward that. And you cannot like Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I think she was a good example. She was a good example of the populists who wanted to focus on issues that mattered to Americans. And a lot of the mega group movement did, and they saw Donald Trump as the president who was going to come in and do that. I don't think it was just so much that he wasn't going to like worry about other countries. It was he's going to really focus on America, make America great again, focus on the communities, focus on people's jobs, focus on cost of living, focus on problems that mattered. And he started to, and I'm not saying some of his policies don't, like tariffs, definitely, but tariffs don't translate as making my life better now. They translate as macroeconomically, these things are going to help us down the road. We're going to get more investment, more job growth. We're going to level the playing field. That's was coming in and saying, we're going to give you free rent. Like, And I'm not saying Republicans should have given them free rent, but I think Republicans focus on what's in, staying in power. I always joke the two parties both share power and they don't really care about how much good they do. They'll shoot any good idea dead if it's not their idea or if it's politically advantageous. And I think Republicans lost an opportunity, and I think Trump lost an opportunity. I do increasingly think the midterms are not going to lean Republican. And even, I'm not saying they'll lose the Senate, but I think there's a huge dissatisfaction. And to me, the biggest worry is the fact that the dissatisfaction is going so far. And by the way, New York is really like, I think of New York as like the heartbeat of the Democratic Party. All the current major leadership is either in New York or California, but New York City has, it's got most of the major players in the old school, in the traditional moderate so-called Democrats now. And it's got the extreme, it's got Mandami and it's got AOC. She's sort of a pseudo progressive, but whatever. She plays one on TV, and I think that's significant that this is happening in New York. And Mandami, I'll mix the M and the M. Mamdami has been able to he's like a kingmaker, like Trump on the left.
I think you give him too much credit, but I think that'll. I think once people see the effects of socialism, I think they'll run right back to capitalism. But this is good. It's good for New York City to experience. When with the whole rent freeze situation, that's going to. That's really, what is this? For me, I feel like it's designed for him to then. He's been on this. We're going to take away buildings from landlords if they don't have the upkeep on them. Well, how are you expecting
Right.
upkeep on buildings when they can't go ahead and raise rent to go ahead and have that done to make sure that the buildings are kept right. I you're going to see a lot of people leaving New York. I've talked to a lot of people and from New York, and they're like, listen, they're getting scared that it's going to translate from New York City into New York in general, and they're like, we're bouncing, we're going to Florida, going to Texas.
Well,
That's what they're eyeing.
That may be
Like, we're going to
true,
stay
David.
here with
People
this.
are leaving, but I think this is way more insidious and way deeper, and it's not just New York. I mean, look at the trial that just got the jury in the Palisades fire trial. You know that guy was like, he was the Luigi Mangione guy. The United Healthcare CEO assassin. These people have this rage, and it's spreading. This rage against the rich, against the establishment. There are people who've always been
Nah, it's
hate the
bigger than
man,
no,
whatever. It's
no. It's
different
bigger
level
than that.
now. There is a
It's bigger than that. It's much bigger than that. It's bigger than just the rich. This is
no, I agree.
this is what gets them in. This is what it gets them in. But the message that they're going to deliver comes later. Right now, this is what gets them in. All you have to do is look at the
I mean, I
UK
would
and
agree.
London. If you guys have not, go look at the UK, go look at London. This is the same situation. This is going to be 10 times bigger. I'm telling you, this is going to, if we allow for this to happen, like if you don't go out there and vote and you just sit back and you say, oh, this is nothing, this will die out. I'm telling you, if you're going to have that kind of approach, you're going to see New York City right in your backyard. Guarantee you, this will spread. Everybody
Well, I
should
don't
be
think
worried.
you're wrong. I
Every
just don't think
single
the issues.
American should be
I don't
worried.
think
I
the
don't care if
issues
you're
just
a
yeah.
Democrat or a Republican.
I
You should be worried.
I I I just think it's way more than just a
The
small
Attorney
percentage of the
General
population,
Letitia
and
James
people
came
should
out.
get out and vote. No, I'm trying to say I think it's a
No,
lot
you're
bigger
not
than
hearing me. I'm
just
saying to you,
10% who vote. I
the
think it's
Attorney
widespread,
General.
the discontent
I
at a
got to
deep
talk over him,
level,
right?
a deep level of discontent.
well,
You were talking for a long time.
well,
What?
I wanted to jump in here real quick and say that
I just want real quick, Landy. I just want to say that Letitia James, the AG for New York, came out and she stated to CNN. Okay, you can look it up on CNN. She stated that she was disappointed with Mandani's selection, essentially, because these people do not coincide with the vibe of New York City and the communities. She didn't go to the next. You know what I'm talking about. She probably wanted to say it, but she didn't. But she kept it that. Look at the scouting report on
But
these
she's
people.
a political. She's a
I'm
political.
not her
But that's
biggest
my
fan.
point.
I'm
She's
just
a
telling you
political
exactly what she
tool.
said though. I'm not her biggest fan. I'm just telling you. Here's some. There are Van Jones came on to CNN and said
I know.
this is
I
crazy.
watched it.
Like Van Jones, the ultimate Democrat, worked for
But what
Obama.
I'm trying to
Comes
say,
out and said, this is crazy.
what, what? That's my point. That was my initial point. We
Landy
keep
had the
saying
mic.
like the Van Jones, the
Hold on one
Letitia
second. Landy
Jameses.
had the mic. I cut him off, and then we'll
They,
go right to you.
So, as you have people leaving California and New York, what you're going to see, and I've said this a few times, is you're going to see, and other places like Michigan and other
Illinois.
other places that have really swung to some of the extreme side of things, and people get unhappy and they leave, right? Well, when they leave, the the concentration of these ideological figures gets amplified in those areas, and those become enclaves, and that's actually a political and strategic um, advantage, and this is part of a wider plan when doing political strategy, is that you drive out the opposition so that you could take total control of that area and dominate in that area. And that's exactly what we're seeing in New York right now, in Illinois, in Michigan. And in order to stem that, what you have on the other side is not what we do not have an appetite to stick around and fight. It's fleeing now, and just trying to bolster in places like Texas and Florida and other places, so on and so forth, right? And the problem is that you're essentially handing them the win in these areas, which then grows their prominence and their power. And this is a massive, massive problem because the Democrats wanted to maintain power so robustly in these areas that they essentially handed the keys over, and now they're being eaten alive by it, and we're going to see this continue. And one of the things that I am going to push back on is with the House and the Senate. There's, well, traditionally, historically, the incumbent loses at least one or both, and the Senate could be likely retained, and it looks like the House is going to flip. Democrats need to run at a +5, and they were at a +9, and now they're down into a +5, and it's tightening even in the House, which is, I think, interesting. And I think we're going to get a much clearer picture coming into the end of summer. And I would venture to say that Democrats are down to a +1 to a +3, which is not good enough. So there's something systemically wrong on the Democrat Party side of things that I think could endanger their chances to even flip the House. Now, I'm not saying I still favor them to flip the House at this particular point in the junction, but they're in dangerous water. They need a bigger slush
No,
as a lead.
I disagree with you, Landy. I think this what happened in New York City has probably woken up the Republican Party to take this a lot more seriously than they did before.
Well,
And
as a
I think there's infighting within the Democratic Party now because I don't think the real Democrats
that's my point.
like any of this shit right now.
Well, that's my point, David. My point
Yeah,
is that they were running at, but hold on. They were running at a +12 at the very beginning of the year. They went down to +9. Then they were +6. Now they're down to plus anywhere between 3 and 5. That's not good enough. If I'm a Democrat right now, and I talk to my Democrat colleagues about this, they are scared because they are scared that, one, they can't, that they might even not be able to win the House right now. Now, that doesn't mean that they won't. And but in terms of the trend, this is not good. Now, this piles on to the not good side of things. So it's got to wake some of these people up. That's why you saw these 13 Democrats come out and say, look, we have to fight against this within. We can't just have the Republicans beating us up and dancing on our heads over this. Um, and I think that the Democrats need to wake up if they want to take the House. Now, look, I am not a Democrat. All right. But if I was a Democrat strategist, I'm looking at the trend right now, And this is making me very upset because
Yeah,
this
of
is,
course.
and I'm telling you, if you're a Democrat, you're not happy right now. None of this is happy, and none of these primaries are good for the optics of the party.
But
You have to get down to business before the election to actually take the House if that's your desired goal.
but to David's initial point about how low the voter turnout is, most people are so disillusioned with the national political scene, with both parties, with members of Congress, and with the White House. And it's not just showing in approval ratings; it does show in votes, especially in midterm elections. I think my point is the traditional Democrats are freaking out. I agree with you, Landy. I think the Republican Party is trying, like to David's point, to take some notice of this, but the Republican Party's fractured, and I think the strongest base of the Republican Party that was most active is pretty disillusioned right now, and I think the strongest base of the Democratic Party, the left, is not disillusioned. I think they want to wreak havoc. I think they want to bring the party to its knees and essentially then get to rebuild it the way they want. I think this is a long-term play. I don't think they want to like make nice. I think a whole
The
lot of people. We're in a
crosstabs show
cultural.
that you're
Let me
not
finish this. We're in a
tracking.
cultural civil war. What? I can finish the thought. We're in a cultural civil war. We're heading to a full-scale political economic civil war, even showing the demographic shifts and people leaving to settle in other states where it's more ripe to them, to more natural to them. And we are ultimately on the edge of a massive all-out political civil war in this country. No, I'm saying going to guns, but we're heading toward it. This is not good. This is not nice water.
Well, I think he's in a bad spot right now, so
Yeah.
I think he broke up. Are you still there?
Well, Andy,
David, you're muted.
I'm muted, right? Welcome back to the breakdown, episode 735. You can call into the show at 917-599-5937. Again, 917-599-5937. I think it works now. People were trying to call earlier. I think it does work now. All right. It's crazy. We didn't talk about Iran today. That's wild. Finally. An episode without mentioning Iran.
Can I point one thing out about base and approval? One of the things that you can look at right now in the crosstabs is people who identify as MAGA. They are at a higher percentage of strong support than ever before. They're literally at all-time highs in terms of people who identify themselves as MAGA. That is a very, very strong base. It's a much bigger base, I think, than even the traditional Republican base. And for all of the
mm-hmm.
party fracturing stuff, the where the Republicans are not united is in passing anything related to this administration's agenda. They are actively stifling it, and that is emboldening
Mm-hmm.
the MAGA base, which is why we're seeing in the crosstabs this fervent support for the president directly. Where things are falling off is at the edges of the Republican Party because there is this rise of anti-Semitism within the Republican Party that goes along with this narrative that Trump is politically captured, and this is where I think that is a fight within the Republican Party, but I do not view them as more in disarray than the Democrats right now. The Democrats haven't had a cohesive message for 6 years, and that is very, very, very
Well, the
damaging
only
to
messaging
them.
is we don't like Trump.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was their whole messaging through Biden's midterms was we don't like Trump. It's the anti-Trump vote. He's not even president, and that's but they
Democrats haven't
still
had a cohesive
they
message
couldn't
for
hold it.
12 years.
I agree, but the biggest this is dangerous for the country, in my opinion, is what I'm trying to say, because you need both sides. Now, granted, they vote as a bloc, uniparty, all that stuff, but if you want to stem off attacks from socialists and communists coming in and infiltrating a party and actually seizing power and setting up in enclaves around the country and actually growing that power, you actually have to have a cohesive message. You can't have one party be completely and utterly dysfunctional. And that is where I want the Democrat Party to find a way to become a functional party, to become more than, and I'm saying this as a registered Republican, by the way. I'm saying that I want a robust, policy driven Democrat Party, because what it'll force the Republicans to do is actually move on policy, and they can find a middle ground and gain back some control in this country to actually start doing things for the people. We haven't seen the Congress do anything for the people in a very long time in terms of implementing the people's will. They better start doing it now, or the socialist communist revolution is
I
coming
think
to
it's already.
America.
I don't know if I'm gonna go as far as the revolution, but I think that
No,
ship's left the
I will
station.
go that far. I
I think the
will.
ship's left the
I've
station.
seen
I
it too
do
many
think you're
times in
gonna
other
see
countries.
far. I think you're going to see far more candidates like this getting elected at the national level, at the mayor level, eventually the governor level. The governor's going to take a little bit longer. I'm sort of wondering what state could head that way. But you know, like it
New
wouldn't
York.
be a California, New York probably, right? But you're going to see a lot of. You've already seen big city. I would not surprise me if Karen Bass loses the race in L.A. And she shouldn't, but it
I
would
wouldn't be
surprise me if
surprised
she
either.
did.
Anithia?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I
Um,
wouldn't be surprised either.
well, I want to thank you guys for coming on Friday here. You know, Access a Ride Rob is out here in these streets right now, and Access a Ride Rob. There you go. He's heading off to the
Access
nursery,
a Ride Rob.
and we have Landy. Obviously,
Wow.
Landy
Wow.
going
Wow.
and
Hey, David
making that
had to
crypto
get a,
market along with politics.
you
Thank you.
know, you,
By the
you
way,
know
let me
what? At
go ahead and
least
say
not,
this.
hey, David, I may be heading to
Wait,
the
hold
nursery.
on,
At least
hold
I'm
on,
not
hold
heading
on,
to
hold
this.
on. No,
At
no, no,
least,
no. Nope.
wow.
I'm on TikTok. We can't get banned on there. And that ban might be coming too because you said something. God damn it. Anyway, um, Rob has a show. Rob Nelson has a show on Mondays and Wednesdays TikTok at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mondays and Wednesdays, the Rob Nelson Show. He breaks down all trending news. Veteran broadcaster, veteran from Fox, veteran when it comes to politics and trending news. Tune in Mondays and Wednesdays. He breaks it down. I join him on Wednesdays. Landy, apparently, I think now joins him on Mondays. Landy has a show Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today's Friday, by the way. Today at 8 p.m., not 9, but 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, he brings on a bunch of dudes dressed up, okay? Looking like Halloween, but they're dressed up and they're going to do men's astrology, okay? Men's astrology, Jupiter, Mars, where are they co-mingling? Is Scorpio and Sagittarius and Taurus coming to find this all out tonight? Okay, with the market recap with the boys breaking down the markets. Okay, I'm kidding, but the markets breaking it down. Bitcoin, where is it heading? We're going to 40. We're going to 30. We're going to $10. We're gonna find out tonight. Okay, they're all bringing out their charts and the horoscopes. Thank you so much, Landy. Thank you,
Thanks,
Rob.
David. Thanks, Rob.
Appreciate you guys
Thanks.
for real, man.
Thanks, guys.
These are great
Same.
people.
Bye.
Tune into them. I'll leave links down below. Rob Nelson joined us from an Access a Ride cab, and we had he's ready to fight me. And then we had obviously Landy, who also joined in, broke down some crypto. Landy is praying that crypto goes to zero. Rob is praying that Trump finally finishes the job in Iran. This is what Rob wakes up with every day. Why hasn't he finished the job in Iran? Okay, that's what he wants. He wants the job to be finished. Okay, he doesn't want no peace deal. He wants go in there, take him out for good. Shock and awe part 2. Bridges and what was it? Bridges and tunnels and power plants. That's what he wants. That's what he wants. By the way, you can still call in at 917-599-5937. If you can call in, you can call. We'll go ahead and attempt to do this. Shit, I have missed calls already too. Going back to crypto. Look, I did spaces yesterday. So I've done 3 spaces. I don't really count them as me actually doing a space. But yesterday, you could say, because I allowed people to come on stage, Sakasa came on, CTMZ came on. Who else came on? CTMZ, Sakasa, and Landy. Landy. Us 4 were on there. We're having a conversation about builders. A conversation about builders. And I believe it is time for the entire community to rally around builders, people that are actually going to see projects through. Rally behind them. By the way, this is just breaking. Trump said he would be the greatest communist in history. I need more context on that. Also, the US CBDC bill is heading to Trump's office right now for Trump to go ahead and sign off on it. Look, if we care about crypto, if we really do care about crypto, we need to take a stand. That's it. Bottom line. This is the time to start. And it doesn't matter how many followers you have. It doesn't matter what kind of platform you have. What if you have a social media account and you are a die-hard crypto person and you believe in crypto and you believe in Bitcoin and you believe in Ethereum, you believe in what it can potentially do, that it can fix problems, it can fix this financial system that we're currently stuck in, then I tell you to go out there and do something about it. Don't wait for anybody else. Do something about it, okay? It's not one individual. It's a goddamn community that can turn this around. Roaring Kitty might have helped. Roaring Kitty, Wall Street Bets, Roaring Kitty might have helped because he was more outspoken. But ultimately, without the community coming together, without retail coming together and saying, fuck this, we're going to take control. Nothing would have ever happened. And the same goes for crypto. It is time for every single person who gives a shit about crypto to rally. Stop giving your money to these platforms. I'm not saying we should go ahead and send them into bankruptcy, these platforms. I'm saying understand that they are making money while you are not. They are destroying our precious assets. They are literally destroying them. They're destroying the things that we love about this space. And I wholeheartedly believe that to be the case. They are destroying the shit that we built here. Whether you were deving, whether you were just talking through your brand, they are destroying it. And it's up to us, not one individual. It is up to us to say, fuck this. We'll go sit at the same table. Whether I like you or not, we'll go sit at the same table and we're going to go ahead and rectify the situation. We're going to take back our shit. That has to be, it has to be that. We're going to take back what's ours. We are in the 11th hour. I really believe we're top of the 9th inning. In terms of having all these clowns, and I call them clowns, the institutional suits, come in here and ultimately take over for real. So, look, you could take this seriously. You could take this message. You don't want to take me seriously. That's fine. You think that this will pass? This shall pass, and we'll get back to what we had in the past? No. I'm telling you, man, they are smarter than a lot of us, and they have more money than us. They have trillions of dollars to play with. They've hired our best talent, and our best talent is working against us now. We need to step the fuck up. But that's not going to happen if we don't come together. That's it. And that's bottom line. If it is hard for us to unite and rally for such an important cause, then it is what it is, man. It's sad because I'm telling you, we had the greatest thing here. We had the greatest thing. And technology, look, and I get it. Tech advances, man. Tech advances. That's why you have something like Pump.Fun, which you can go on to Pump.Fun and you can create a contract. 1, 2, 3. It handles a LP for you. It does everything for you. Okay? And they're set up they encourage people to go ahead and push out content. They're encouraging. We want you to push out content. They're encouraging this behavior. They're encouraging it. So nobody cares to hold. Nobody believes in anything no more. Like nobody believes in, and I can give a monumental speech about something and nobody will believe it. Because nobody believes in holding. We're going to make it, the diamond hand culture is gone. And I'm not saying that didn't have its hiccups, but I'm saying in general, that was better. That was actually better than what we have now. And now we have a bunch of kids running the show. We really do. We have a bunch of kids running the show in crypto. It's the broccoli head kids. You know what I'm talking about. They look like alpacas. They're running the show. When I said this last night, when you have people getting excited when the Bando kid comes along saying that he's going to launch a project and you guys get excited for it, that means that our system is broken. It's time to get serious. Like if you guys give a shit about a lot of you guys gave up your careers to come here, man. Like you this is your living now. Don't you see what's happening? I'm good. You know, I'm sitting back. I'm fine. I'll watch. But you know what? Inside of me, I'm not fine because I'm watching our ecosystem being completely torn apart. Everything that was built here is being ripped apart because the system is gamified now. They have gamified our own people. It's always our own people. Our own people gamify the system. You think they care about crypto? These platforms, they don't care. They don't care. They're making money off of every single one of you guys going on and clicking a contract. They're making money. They don't care. They don't care about you. People will say, and somebody said, I'm complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you what time it is. I am telling you what time it is. Like, I am literally telling you that we have a problem here. And it's a problem that cannot be fixed by one person. Like one person, you can bull post all you want, but one person can't solve it. By the way, I love the fact that the Cabal is back, rebranded, and they're telling you it's time to bull post and it's time to get active. The same people that were telling you that they have no crypto. The same people that were a part of Libra and Melania and fucking Trump and all these things that popped off before we knew they were going to pop off. Like, come on, Dave Portnoy. Like you know how I feel about Dave Portnoy. The dude the one thing he did good for crypto, I guess the only good thing he did in crypto was let everybody know about Libra and what's happening with Libra. That he was offered. What do you think? You don't think the Hayden Davises are still controlling shit? Of course they are. Oh, the Hayden Davises they're implementing like Operation 2.0 in this bitch. You're not winning. Like, you guys aren't winning. I know you're not. Like, you guys claim to. You're not winning. You're not winning. Winning 5 bands in a month is not winning. I'm sorry. By the way, Trump said I'd be the greatest communist in the history as a joke. Okay, and I know they'll run with it. I don't understand. We used to come to crypto. You know, obviously people come to crypto to make gains. Anybody who tells you they're not here to profit is lying. They're absolutely fucking lying. But you can make profit and also tell people that you're here for the tech because you love it. You want to build here because you have ideas that can help the ecosystem and things outside of it. You can say these things, and it could be, both can be true. But there were cycles where people really made money. There were cycles where people really made money. Now, like, where's the money being made now? Somebody just coming into the space, how they make them? I don't know how you make money. I see a lot of people coming in here and getting destroyed for making money. That's the truth. We'll be right back after this commercial break. We'll be back with the quote of the day, I guess.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. I just want to touch on this. Trump said he'd be the greatest communist in history because he'd promise everyone essentially everything for free. Then he said the country would collapse. So that's basically what he was implying by, that he'd be the greatest communist. Because that's what it is. That is absolutely what it is. I see comments in here, and I just want to say again, in regards to crypto, I still have faith that that people will unite, and the catalyst is the people, the entire community. That's the catalyst. When the community comes together, when the community finally decides to put the egos aside and it actually sincerely comes together, that's when we'll win. Until then, using people as a stepping stone to send shit, that's not it. Bottom line. Ripping people apart, all that stuff, that's what they want. They want the drama. Cabal wants that. The cabal wants the drama because that means that you guys are not going to unite. They're like the government in a sense. Democrats, Republicans, kind of thing. Politicians, like, they want you fighting because they can control you, right? So it's kind of like what's happening in crypto. You got everybody fighting. Everybody's fighting over nothing, basically. Egos is what people fight. Oh, I have the number one ego. No, so that's what you're fighting about. You're not fighting about making money at all. And I go into Bitcoin spaces. They're talking about lawnmowers and shit. So then nobody's educating anybody about anything. So you have that going on over here. The cabal, though, that wants to make money, they found a way to come together with people that they don't like, and that's why they're successful. They're like, hey, we're a team. I don't like you, but we're about making money, right? Well, there's one thing that we have in common is that we will make money. Do you want to make money? Yes. Do I want to make money? Yes. So that they're like, okay, we're in. I don't like you, but like, we like money. People over here, the whole entire crowd here, y'all too busy slapping each other around on the internet. You look stupid. That's it. They're going to continue making money. They're back. They've reinvented themselves. They're good now. They're cool. They're in a different fucking state. They're chilling. That's it. And now they're all wearing suits. I started the whole suit meta. Okay, I just want to put that out there. Okay, I started the suit meta, and now everybody's on a suit. And that's fine. Good. I want everybody to clean up and look good and professional. But they got the intentions, man. They know exactly where they're going. And they're going into your pockets. That's it. And then, you know what? You're going to be blaming everybody else. And you guys are actually thinking that the hope, they're the solution, or you know inside that this is bad. It's kind of like what I said. It's like, it's drugs. Drugs are bad for you. But hey, you know what? Maybe it's not. Maybe this one, it won't be so bad. Maybe I won't have a bad experience. That's you are finding or trying to find reasons to side with people that can care less about you, and they're just looking to extract. So God bless you, man. God bless. Again, united force. We can all go ahead and party like it's 1999. Shout out to Prince. Rest in peace. Or you can continue this madness by allowing the cabal, who is now connected directly with all these platforms, to go ahead and smack you upside your head on a consistent basis. It's all good. They're already set up. They're preparing. Their summer is good. They're preparing. They are preparing for the bull market once it comes back. Starting somewhere in Q4, they are preparing to go ahead and tear that ass up. And I'm not talking about in a good way. So you pick and choose. You pick and choose, ladies and gentlemen. You pick and choose the message you want to put out there. You pick and choose if you want to sit at the same table with people that you don't like, okay? For whatever the fucking reason is. You pick and choose. Because all you guys took a good game about, I make money, I love making money, but you refuse to sit down with networks that are multi-million-dollar networks to make money, real money. Now, I'm not talking about $3, okay? A lot of you guys ain't making more money than somebody flipping pancakes at IHOP. And let's call that for what it is. It's the truth. The quote of the day is this: be nice to everybody. Be good to people. You don't got to go ahead and you don't have to do stupid shit in order to elevate yourself. And that's how I'm going to leave it. Yeah, and I mean that 100%. Because I will say shit with my chest. You can go and be a good person. You can win without cutting somebody else's legs off for no reason. Communication is a big, I got to tell you, communication sucks. I say this all the time. People do not know how to communicate. Bottom line, they just don't. Or they're just not interested. So, some people are just interested in believing their own lies. So, anyway, it's been a good one. We'll be back next week, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till 2 p.m. Shout out to Midnight. We'll have Charles on next week. We're going to have a serious, unfiltered interview. Cardano, Midnight, no holds bars. We are going to look over everything, okay? And I guarantee you, after that discussion, you're going to look at Cardano and Midnight in a absolutely different type of light. Even Landy said he's getting ready to get Cardano. Shout out to him. Anyway, on that note, have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. I'm out.